Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. In a political landscape often dominated by tradition and hierarchy, one woman continues to challenge the very foundation of Washington, D.C., and she's doing it with fire, clarity, and the unwavering support of a younger, more progressive America. At just 35, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, more popularly known as AOC, stands at a powerful crossroads. In the wake of Rep. Gerry Connolly's decision to step down as the top Democrat on the powerful House Oversight Committee, a once-in-a-generation opportunity has emerged, and all eyes are on AOC. This isn't just about committee seats, ranking members, or legislative routines. No, this is about power, ideology, and the future of the Democratic Party. This is about whether a new generation of leaders can finally break through the barriers that have long held back true reform. And more than anything, it's about whether Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is ready to take the reins of leadership that many believe she was destined for. Just months ago, in a move that raised eyebrows and stirred passionate debate within party lines, AOC made her first attempt to join the House Oversight Committee in a leadership capacity. She lost. Connolly won that internal race, but now, with Connolly stepping down due to health concerns, the door is wide open. The question is, will she walk through it? AOC has confirmed that she is weighing the opportunity, and weighing is an understatement, because what's at stake is not just one woman's career, it's the soul of the Democratic Party. At the heart of this moment is a generational struggle. The old guard, the moderate legacy of the Clinton-Obama era, clashing with the insurgent progressivism represented by figures like AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Ilhan Omar. But there's more. This isn't just a fight for influence in Congress. There's 2028 looming in the background. Yes, whispers are already growing louder. AOC for president. The signs are everywhere. From her national fighting oligarchy tour with Bernie Sanders to her skyrocketing favorability among Democratic primary voters, to the fundraising machine quietly gathering steam. This is no longer speculation. This is momentum. Let's break it all down. Because if you've ever wondered what the future of American politics looks like, if you've ever hoped for a leader who speaks plainly, fights fiercely, and refuses to play by Washington's rules, then you'll want to follow every word of this evolving story. Back in January, when the Oversight Committee reshuffle first took place, AOC withdrew entirely after losing her bid for leadership. Many thought that was the end of it, that perhaps she was unwilling to play the long game. But behind the scenes, sources now reveal she was observing, preparing, and consolidating. The timing, as it turns out, may now be perfect. Connolly's departure created a leadership vacuum, and Rep. Stephen Lynch, a senior and more centrist Democrat, is currently serving as interim ranking member. He's 69. His supporters say he's experienced, measured, and capable, but progressives argue he represents the past. In contrast, AOC has the one thing Lynch cannot manufacture: a movement. Younger Democrats are watching closely. So are voters under 40. So are climate activists, union organizers, and millions of Americans who felt politically invisible before AOC entered Congress in 2019. And while the Democratic establishment remains cautious about handing too much influence to a figure they still see as polarizing, the reality is this: AOC is already shaping the party from the outside in. She doesn't need permission anymore. If she takes the oversight position, she would hold subpoena power, a national media platform, and a seat at the table in key investigations into everything from corporate corruption to governmental oversight failures. That's not just symbolic. That's structural power. And it's the kind of visibility that would make a future presidential run, say, in 2028, feel less like a dream and more like a destined inevitability. But she faces real challenges. Senior Democrats aren't going down without a fight. Lynch is being quietly backed by some in the party leadership who fear AOC's rising influence. They worry about alienating moderate voters. They worry about purity politics. They fear that someone who calls out billionaires by name and demands student loan cancellation will hurt their delicate coalition. But here's the twist. The American people may not agree. Polls show a growing hunger for authenticity, for passion, for leaders who refuse to sugarcoat the truth. In a post-Trump, post-pandemic era, Americans want more than policy. They want principle. And that's something AOC has in abundance. Still, the choice remains hers. Some insiders suggest she may decline the role. Not out of hesitation, but out of calculation. She may have her eyes on something bigger. If she skips oversight, it may signal she's preparing for a broader national campaign. After all, 2028 is only 3 years away. Biden will not be running again. Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, they're all being discussed. But so is she, loudly, and with good reason. She has more followers than most Democrats combined. Her speeches go viral. She commands the TikTok generation. She turns C-SPAN clips into cultural moments. That's not strategy. It's a rare kind of charisma. But charisma alone isn't enough in Washington. It's also about relationships. And AOC has been slowly, quietly building bridges, not just to progressive allies, but to unions, civil rights, groups, and even certain business leaders. She's learned from early mistakes. She knows when to speak, and more importantly, when to wait. So what happens next? If she announces her bid for the oversight leadership, it could trigger a fight unlike anything we've seen in this congressional term. It would be AOC versus the establishment in full view. It would be a battle of ideas, values, and generational direction. And every moment would be televised, streamed, tweeted, and dissected. If she doesn't, if she passes, it still sends a message. It tells the party she's playing the long game, that she doesn't need a title to lead, that her sights are set higher, and that perhaps, just perhaps, she's preparing not for committee leadership, but for the presidency. The truth is, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez represents something deeper than politics. To some, she's a threat. To others, she's a hero. But to millions of Americans, especially young women, Latinos, working-class people, and climate activists, she's a beacon of what's possible in a country that has too often told them to wait their turn. And if the Democratic Party fails to recognize that power, they may once again find themselves on the wrong side of history. So here we are. The oversight seat is open. The establishment wants continuity. The grassroots want change. And AOC is at the center of it all. Will she take the leap? Stay tuned. Because no matter what she chooses, one thing is certain. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez isn't going anywhere. She's not fading. She's rising. And this is just the beginning. Thank you for watching Daily Gossip, where we bring you the most emotional, political, and celebrity stories every day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, should AOC take the Oversight Committee leadership, or should she go all in for 2028?